This is a day in the life of a wannabe prepper that is obsessed with freeze drying. Good morning. We've got a big to-do list today, and I am starting off with making breakfast for my kids. Well, I mean, and myself, who am I kidding? With my absolute favorite new freeze-dried treat. This is my pumpkin pie filling that I freeze-dried and turned into a powder. It literally tastes like pumpkin pie and has turned into one of my all-time favorite things that I have made in my freeze dryer. I have been flavoring everything with it. Today, we are doing pumpkin pie waffles. Here is how our batter looks. It smells divine. I think this is gonna taste so good. I hope I added enough pumpkin pie powder to it. Let's see. I got this darling Mickey waffle maker at a yard sale this year, which I have absolutely been obsessed with. I had someone come to the door, so it got a little toasty, but actually I think it's fine. Look how cute it is. While I keep cooking up more of those waffles, we gotta give it a taste. I'm just dying to see how this is. Butter first, of course. Gotta roll in with the maple syrup. All right, I'm just gonna start at Mickey's ear. I'm a fan. Oh yeah. So it's not like overly powerful pumpkin in your face. It's like the perfect background pumpkin pie flavor that actually my kids, I think, are going to really enjoy. They don't like anything too strongly flavored. If you want like pumpkin pie in your face, I would add a full cup of the pumpkin pie powder, but I did about 3/4 of a cup, and this is, I would say, perfection. It's so good. Okay, to-do list number 1, check. Breakfast is done. Checklist item number 2, what I'm preparing for dinner. We are having my absolute favorite meal, which is smoked brisket in the Traeger. And we are testing out a new meat thermometer for the first time. I got this for my husband for Father's Day. It is called the Meter. I think it's made by Traeger. I don't exactly remember if it was or not. I purchased it at Home Depot, but I will also leave a link in this video, in the video description below, if you want one of these. They're amazing, at least from what we hear. So in the app, you set up what you are cooking. We are doing beef. Let's see if they have, okay, here's brisket. We are doing it on the smoker. They recommend 203 degrees, so let's just go with that. We're gonna hit start cook. Insert the probe into the middle of the thickest part of the meat, and make sure you do it past this point on the stick. Okay, let's try this. I've got it inserted. We're just gonna close it back up. So here we are. It's really cool that it shows you a graph on like how far you are into your cook. So we will check back in later and see how it's going. My husband reminded me that we first need to get it to 160, and we're gonna wrap our then we're gonna wrap our brisket in foil and then let it come to the final temperature after it's wrapped. So I reset it for 160 degrees. I also didn't prepare any side dishes to go with our brisket tonight. I do have sourdough bread, so we will have that as a side, and then I'm gonna check out our prepper stash when I'm down in the basement later today and see if we can come up with something good from my freeze-dried food supply that will go along with brisket well. We are down here at Vanilla Ice for my third to-do list item today, which is to continue on my freeze-dried milk project. If you missed my last video, I will tag it up here. I bought a bunch of gallons of milk from Costco Business Center. They were on sale for $1 per gallon, which was amazing. So I'm in the process of a big freeze-drying project for freeze-drying all of my milk. And I'm ready to run my second batch. I'm just gonna get my machine cooling down, and then I'm gonna grab my trays out of the freezer load them up. This is also a good time to tell you that Harvest Right Black Friday sale is coming up next week. It starts November 1st. I have not received the specific details of the sale, but they did tell me that it's gonna be their lowest prices that they have offered on freeze dryers all year long. So if you are in the market for a freeze dryer, I mean, you got the holidays and Christmas coming up, wait until November 1st. I will have the link in my video description box here and in all of my future videos. You can always find it there. Click it, November 1st. That's when you will find the best deals that they are going to offer for the year for Black Friday. Going along with the milk preservation, I had some amazing viewers in my milk video tell me that the way they freeze their milk to get ready for the freeze dryer is to just put it in Ziploc bags, freeze them flat so that they're nice, thin little packages of frozen milk. And then when you're ready to freeze dry them, you can just slide them out of the Ziploc baggie and put them right onto your tray. So I'm gonna go head upstairs and pour at least a gallon, maybe 2, of milk into Ziploc bags so that I can have them ready for the next freeze dryer run, because now my trays are all being used. So my friends told me to store the milk in Ziploc bags. I'm not sure what size Ziploc bag, but I'm thinking small pieces because my freeze dryer trays are fairly narrow. So we're gonna see if this works. I think I did it. Oh, no, we're leaking. We're leaking. Why are we leaking there? It might be okay if I just tilt this up a little. Is it not? I need the freezer seal bags, which I don't have. I'm just trying it with regular. All right, we're gonna see if it works. So this is totally bringing me back to my baby days when I would store breast milk in baggies and freeze it in the freezer. This totally just reminded me of that. Like, such a flashback, blast from the past. I'm glad those days are behind me. But now we're freezing milk to freeze dry. Okay, did you know that you can freeze dry breast milk and make it like your own homemade formula? I have a friend who had a baby, my friend who lives here in Alaska, and she freeze dried her breast milk. How freaking cool is that? It's just like amazing. I know there are services where you can send it in to have it professionally done, but it costs a lot of money. But if you have a freeze dryer or know someone with a freeze dryer, you could ask them to do that for you, to store your milk. So cool. I've got my bags of milk in here. Once they're solid, I'll be able to take them out and just put them like in my regular freezer. But since they're kind of on the risk of leaking, I'm just gonna keep them in that tray until they're solid and then transfer them. Okay, my thing is slowly starting to heal. I'm trying to cover it with my hair, but it's not working too well. I need some bangs, but if you missed it, this was just like a pre-cancerous spots on my head that I had frozen off to hopefully kill them. And so I'm currently in the healing process. Sorry for the way my face looks. I wanted to share you some awesome news about my mother. She is an amazing volleyball player. She played D1 college volleyball, and she is still playing competitive volleyball today. Last week, she played in a Senior Olympics volleyball tournament in St. George, Utah, where players come from all over the country and from other countries also. Canada always comes with an amazing team. Brazil always comes with an amazing team. And my mom and her team took home the gold in not only the 60s division, but also the 50s. So if you want to, congratulate her in the comments down below. She would be thrilled to read some awesome comments from you guys. She also, if you were here like last year sometime, we freeze-dried orange juice for her, and she brought her freeze-dried orange juice powder on her tournament. Here's a picture of her drinking it. When she travels to these tournaments, it's sometimes hard to have the proper food and healthy organic ingredients that she likes to eat with. So we freeze-dried some organic orange juice. She was able to have that in her hotel room because so good for you, and she loved it. It worked out perfectly. Go Mom, you're amazing. Keep up the good work. I'm here at my prepper stash. I need to find something to go with our brisket dinner tonight. I found sweet potato fries that I made a year ago. I think it could be fun to see how these rehydrate and cook up. I don't think I've dove into the sweet potatoes before. I did one time try to rehydrate sweet potatoes by steaming them in the microwave, and it did not work, they just burned. But these, I didn't cook them before I freeze dried them, I just cut them into fry shapes. What do we think? Should I try this? I guess you can't answer me in real time, but let's try this with our dinner tonight. I have a lot more freeze-dried food and I don't have any more space in my cabinet, which is a good problem to have. And I think I have a solution, so let me show you what I got. I was at Costco and came across this 5-tier shelf, and I think this is gonna work perfectly for what I'm looking for to expand my prepper stash because I have just outgrown my cabinet. I'm gonna drop it.
Are you really?
I don't have a good grip there.
Can you get the door open?
Try. See, 2 people. So this is the rack that I got. It's actually really cool because you can either have it a 5 tall shelf, or you could do it as like a corner unit, more like a workbench style. But for me, I think we just need the tall shelf. And if I like this, I might get rid of the cabinet and just do a few of these so that it all looks the same and it'll look a little bit nicer. If you're wondering why our wall looks like that, we had monkey bars that my husband had put up in here for the kids, but they were a little too rough on them and they started getting loose, and I don't know, decided they needed to come down. So we got some patching and painting to do in the near future. And here we are. I did it. It wasn't that hard once you kind of got the hang of the pattern and everything, but I got my shelf put together, but the actual stocking of the shelf might end up happening another day. I am just on a short time crunch now because we got to get dinner made and then we are headed to our school's harvest festival. So mom life always calls. Here is how they look. I'm just gonna get them submerged in water to hopefully get them rehydrating. We'll see how these turn out. I'm gonna cook these in the air fryer. I think they'll be good. I'm gonna let these sit in the water for about 10 minutes at least to hopefully get rehydrated, and then I'm gonna pat them dry, get them oiled up so they can go in the air fryer. Our brisket reached temperature and is currently resting in this bag for its just, you know, final ending rest process. That is a must when it comes to smoking any kind of meat. You gotta let it rest. So while this rests, we are going to make the sweet potato fries. I have my air fryer back here preheating. I am going to toss these and season them up. This is garlic infused avocado oil. Just gonna drizzle some of that on here. And then we'll just go in with some salt, pepper, and garlic powder. I'm just gonna give them a little toss and then we will stick them in the air fryer and see how they do.
Cheese.
I did purchase these air fryer liners, which are really nice. They just fit in your air fryer and they just help it not be quite so messy. I'm just gonna let this cook for like 15 minutes or so. I'm gonna shake them up like every 5 minutes and then I think we'll be ready to eat. Let's unwrap this brisket and see how we did. mean, this is looking so good. I cannot wait to get it in my belly. Here's how the fries are looking. They're okay. I wouldn't say they're amazing, but they taste decent. They're just not very crispy, but there's probably a better way to make them. Anyway, dipped in ketchup. Fries aren't too bad, but not great. Brisket, on the other hand, so good. It's perfect. We are back from our school Halloween carnival with our little pink fox, who was a big winner in the cakewalk. And this cake actually looks so good. It's a pumpkin cake with caramel cream cheese icing. Sounds delicious. Good win, good win. Thanks for coming along with me today in my day in the life of a wannabe prepper. I had a lot of fun today, got a lot done. I still need to fill up those shelves of mine, but I at least got them built, so that's something. I will catch you on the next video. Remember, when you freeze dry today, you preserve your tomorrow. Bye, friends.